So we're all here for different reasons. This is a main reason for me why I journal. I write so I can hear myself think. I so often can't feel, we have so much carrying around in our heads, don't we? It can be really hard to find, how we feel, what we think, to find clarity. Journaling is an amazing tool which enables you to do that, which doesn't cost anything, that you don't need a lot of time for. You don't need to have any particular set of skills, and there are lots of ways to do it. So I really want to break down barriers that prevent people from experience and having this tool in their self-care toolkit. So today we are going to, as always, start with a bit of wild journaling before we move on to some more structured journaling prompts. And this month's theme is around aligning with our values. So what is wild journaling? It is a freestyle writing technique where there are no rules or guidance. You simply show up and just write whatever comes to mind. That might be a bulleted list. That might be just words or phrases or just things that you want to get off your mind. That might be a whole stream of consciousness onto the page. So try to remove any just self-judgment or self-consciousness and just see what comes up. It always amazes me how much comes up in this time. And you don't need to spend long doing this. So we're going to set the timer here for 5 minutes and just see what happens on the page. Grab your pen. We'll have a nice 5 minutes. I will keep time, so you don't need to worry about the time. Settle into your stillness, your surroundings. And just write down what is on your mind today. And I'll see you in 5. And just to welcome you back when you're ready. How did you find that? Goes very quickly, doesn't it? Sometimes that's a list of things to do. Sometimes that's not very much. Sometimes it might be, more than you thought you would write. There's no right or wrong with journaling. It's about finding what just works for you in that moment, what you need in that moment. There is no wrong, there is only right. I find this really useful for just clearing the way, offloading, especially if I'm overwhelmed, I'm feeling a bit frazzled, that kind of nervous energy, don't know where to start, but also feeling disconnected from myself. It really can help bring me back to myself. What came up for you in there? If you look at your writing, not sharing any content necessarily, what do you notice from those words that you've just written? Is there anything standing out for you that you maybe want to take in your day? Maybe you want to give some further thought to, or maybe you want to take some part of that and continue journaling later on about that. Joe, that's a big one, isn't it? Boundaries. Yes, the importance of boundaries. So that's a great focus point as you start the week there, thinking about what are the boundaries that you need? What are the boundaries that you need? And self-care. Yeah, what self-care do you need this week? What can you do today that's going to fill your cup as you move through the week? What works for you? And giving yourself permission to sit with how you feel, so important as well. Sitting with that, even if it feels uncomfortable, knowing that you will move through it. Confidence in your own abilities. Wow, that's an empowering start to the week there, Janine. Thank you for sharing. We're going to move on to our guided prompts for this morning. So each month I like to offer a different theme that we just explore with some more structure and some more prompts for you to work through. And you might prefer one of these methods of journaling this month. Just have a go and see what comes up for you. Hopefully you can all see my screen there. So this month's theme is about our values, living in alignment with our values. Now, actually, I've got a whole day of values today. I love talking about values. So straight after this, I'm going into another workshop, which is about how do we understand what our values are? Why are they important to us? So I've just got a few prompts to share with you. We're going to spend about a minute or so on each prompt. So it is quite quickly moving through these. And there may be one of those that you really connect with, that you want to spend longer on, or there may be one that actually you don't feel the need to explore and you'd rather explore something else. So again, that you don't have to do any of these prompts. Do what feels right for you. And you might want to sort of star one and come back to it at a later date if you've got intrigued. Prompts help us explore deeper, explore questions we may not have come up with ourselves. They help us see different perspectives, which is why I love a good prompt sometimes. And especially if you're feeling a bit stuck with your journaling, a prompt can really help you completely get back into it, navigate around some subject you hadn't really thought of. So here is where we're going to start today. So you're just going to have a minute on each, and I would like you to write about a recent highlight, some moment that you were proud of, or a spark of happiness, spark of joy. And once you've connected with that moment, I'd like you to identify what was important to you about that moment. Why is that standing out? I invite you to write down 5 things. When you've got a couple of important things about that moment, I'd like you to just focus in on one, whichever you feel drawn to this morning. And this may be a value of yours. We're doing this exercise very quickly, but just pick one that you feel drawn to today. I'd like you to write down how else you are demonstrating that value in your life. And with this potential value, what happens when that becomes challenged or neglected, or maybe in conflict? Moving on to the next one. How does this value help you or support you in your life? And on the flip side, how may it hinder you? And finally, what simple actions could you take to live more in alignment with this value in the next few days? And just bringing you back into this space as and when you feel ready. Maybe you've got a bit of extra time after this session where you'd like to just continue with your writing flow, if you're in a flow. I hate breaking your flow. How did you find that? Just exploring with some structure there, being guided through a few prompts. How did you feel today, the difference between the wild writing and the prompts. Which connected with you more this morning? Do feel free to share anything that has come up for you in that short time. And just to answer one question that's popped into the chat there, if I would recommend journaling every day. I try not to recommend too much. I do believe that consistency can help, but sometimes setting ourselves rules about journaling every day, that might be a barrier for some people. So I think it's about tuning into what works for you. If you're just getting started, that could be helpful to set yourself a small challenge of journaling every day for a week or a month. Just so you can experience journaling fully. But I wouldn't necessarily say it only works if you journal every day. I don't believe that at all. Some days there are days I don't journal, and then I'll have a journaling flurry. I really think it is more about tuning in what you need, into what you need. I would say also, you don't need to journal for hours on end. Like setting the timer like we have been doing for 5 minutes or a few minutes is really powerful. So maybe it's just, yeah, thinking about what would work for you there. That time has gone very, very quickly. Thank you for all your comments. Yeah, really liking the prompts today. I think things coming through there. So thank you all so much for spending your morning. What a lovely way to spend a Monday morning. Just pop my details up if anybody wanted to connect or continue talking about journaling. And I'll just pop the link in the chat there if you wanted to book for August. I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but it's the first Monday of the month in August at this time. So thank you all so much for joining me here, for taking this time out for yourself and just giving yourself this really important 30 minutes to start your day. Take that with you into the rest of your day. And I really hope to see you again next month. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here. Bye. Bye.